Good afternoon, everybody. Hi. Um, my name is Valarie Johnson, and I'm with Native American Disability Law Center. I was just going to wait a few minutes to see if somebody else would be coming on. Over in the chat area, we're going to be posting a pre-survey question. There's going to be a link on there, and if you wouldn't mind, please answering the few questions that are on that pre-survey. It should be located in the chat. So again, good afternoon. My name is Valarie Johnson. I'm originally from Gallup, New Mexico, and I grew up in Shiprock, and I currently reside here in Farmington. I have been working with the Native American Disability Law Center since 2008. I work as a outreach specialist here at the Law Center. I work at the Law Center here in Farmington, and I'll be posting the information of our location on our slide. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and start sharing my presentation and my slide. So the title of my presentation this morning, or this afternoon, I'm sorry, is Ready, Set, Enroll, Benefits That Work for You. And this is through the National Council on Aging. Go to the next slide. It just gives it shows a map of the Native American disability where our service area is located. It's on mainly on the Navajo Reservation. And the Law Center's mission is to advocate so that the rights of the Native Americans with disabilities in the Four Corners area are enforced, strengthened, and brought in harmony with their communities. The Law Center provides advocacy, referral information, and educational resources to all Native Americans with disability living anywhere in the Four Corners who feel that they have been discriminated against because of their disability, abused or neglected, or wrongly denied a service. Native American disability is part of the Protection Advocacy Organization for Native Americans with disabilities living in the Four Corners.
No. Go ahead, Nori.
Native American disability is part of the Protection Advocacy Organization for Native Americans with disabilities living in the Four Corners area. We provide free legal assistance, advocacy, and education in areas such as civil rights, special education, abuse and neglect, employment, and housing. We provide legislative advocacy by drafting, revising, and enforcing laws on the Navajo Nation and the Hopi Reservation and other tribal communities across the Four Corners to protect individuals with disabilities. I just wanted to share what the Native American Disability Law Center does. And we are a nonprofit organization. The next slide. At the end of this presentation, you will know more about the following. What is Benefit Enrollment Center, which I got BEC? What do BECs do? What the four core benefits are, and why benefits matter. The NCOA, the National Council on Aging, its role, it offers several programs designed to make it easier for eligible individuals to find and apply for benefits to improve their lives. It helps community-based organizations to find and enroll seniors and younger adults with disabilities with limited means into benefit programs for which they are eligible, so they can remain healthy, secure, and independent. So it's a providing tool. It provides tools for BECs to find benefits for those who are seeking assistance in regards to maybe their health and housing. The BECs focus on connecting Medicare beneficiaries with limited incomes to these core benefits, such as Part D, and I'll go more into that, Medicare savings programs, Medicaid or Access, SNAP, Supplemental Nutrition Assistant Program, and LIHEAP, which is Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program. So those are showing some of the logos for LIHEAP, SNAP, and Medicaid. So NCOA, National Council on Aging, has a network of BECs across the 38 states. And you'll see a map there of what states where they are located. The main office I believe is in Virginia, and they help connect eligible people into like federal and state and local benefit programs. And if you are in a state to where you don't see a BEC, you can either call me or call the National Council on Aging, and they will connect you to a location near a BEC, so you can find a location. The NLCA is benefits checkup is that I posted the website there, and they do have a helpline number of 1-800-794-6559, and that's you can learn more about them through their website or call them. So the first one is wanted to talk about is the Supplemental Nutrition Assistant Program, which is SNAP, formerly known as food stamps. And it is a federal assistance program designed to help low-income individuals and families purchase food. SNAP provides financial assistance to eligible individuals and households to help them buy nutritious food to improve their health and well-being. And I listed some of the eligibility requirements, like income base, the household size, work requirements, and citizenship. And part of the for some of the food stamp application, you can do it online. There is a phone number here in New Mexico that you can call if you want to apply over the phone, and you can apply in person as well. By applying by phone, you can dial at, I'm not sure, 1-800-432-6217 is the phone number listed to apply by phone. And like I said, there are eligibility requirements in regards to citizenship, work requirements, and household and income. And just like all other federal assistance programs, those are basically some of the eligibility requirements. And here is a picture of the next slide is some of the SNAP logos that you can see, some of the stores that show where they are accepted. And I posted on there where to apply for SNAP benefits in New Mexico. It's through the New Mexico Yes. And the phone number in Arizona, it's through the ArizonaDES.az.gov. and also the website they're listed. The phone number that you can apply in Arizona is 1-855-432-7587. And the food, and I, through the NCOA, they also, they help people in regards to providing out tips, like for food assistance, tips for picking healthy food as you get older. Number one, the first tip they gave is know what healthy plate looks like. You know, when you get a plate and you find you want to pick out the nutritious foods, look for important nutritions. Food on the plate should look like a rainbow. It's colorful with your vegetables, your meat, and the portion. And also, when you're picking out food, read the nutrition facts label. Whole foods equals healthiest food. Read labels to find items that are lower in fat and added sugars and sodium. Use the recommended servings. To maintain your weight, eat the right amount of food for your age. Stay hydrated. Water, like we always hear that water is so important. Don't get dehydrated, right? But stay hydrated. Keep fluid at a minimum. And stretch that way you can stretch your food budget. And the next slide is on Medicaid. And Medicaid is a joint federal and state program in the United States that provide health insurance to individuals and families with low income and resources. It helps cover costs of various healthcare services, including doctor visits, hospital stays, prescription drugs, long-term care, and more. Medicaid is administered at the state level. So each state has its own rules, eligible requirements, and benefits, but it must adhere to federal guidelines. Key aspects of Medicaid: the eligibility, again, low-income individuals and families, which include children, pregnant women, parents, and non-elderly adults. Elderly individuals, Medicaid can provide coverage for long-term care, such as nursing home ineligibility. So, and I believe my colleague Melissa had that. She had a presentation on that. Individuals with disabilities. Medicaid offers services for people with disabilities who require assistance with daily living or specialized medical care. It also provides services for pregnant women and children. Many states have expanded coverage for pregnant women and children, often covering often covering them at higher income levels than other adults. The next one I wanted to cover is Medicare Part D. And there is a breakdown. Here's a breakdown of Medicare Part D. And it's a voluntary program that provides prescription drug coverage to people who are enrolled in Medicare. It helps produce out-of-state pocket costs for prescription drugs, making medications more affordable. Part D is offered by private insurance companies that are approved by Medicare. These private plans are contracted to provide prescription drug coverage and often include additional benefits depending on the plan. So prescription drug plan Part D is a component of Medicare. It's a health insurance program that people age 65 and offer for people who are 65 and older, and for younger people who have disabilities. Part D helps cover the cost of prescription medications, which can be a significant expense for people on Medicare. who is eligible for Part D. Anyone who is enrolled in Medicare Part A and or Part B can join a Part D plan as long as they live in the plan service area. You do not need to have Medicare Advantage Part C to get Part D, although you can get drug coverage through a Medicare Advantage plan. That includes prescription drugs called Medicare Advantage Prescription Drug or MAPD. So again, Medicare Part D is their prescription drug coverage available to people who with Medicare who have Medicare Part A and B. And Part D benefit is available through private plans. Again, just to go over it. And there are certain periods when a person with Medicare can enroll in Part D. One is the initial enrollment period when the person first becomes eligible for Medicare. These are also special enrollment periods, such as when a senior retiree and loses maybe their employer drug coverage, or when a person moves out of one of the Part D plan service to another area. The annual enrollment period normally occurs from like October 15 to December 7. During this time, people with Medicare can join, they can disenroll or switch Part D and or Medicare Advantage plans. People who choose to enroll in Part D outside their initial or special enrollment periods may face late penalty, depending on the circumstances. This penalty may result in higher monthly premiums for the rest of the time that the individual has drug coverage from Medicare, unless he or she qualifies for Part D low subsidy, and that's LIS. It's normally you'll see that as LIS/extra help. In regards to the Medicare low income, let me go over that one part, is the Medicare low income subsidy. That's part what I was telling you about getting extra help paying for Part D. Beneficiaries with Medicare who have limited income and assets may qualify for extra help with the cost of their prescription drugs. This program is also known as LIS. If you see that, that's what that stands for, LIS, Medicare Low Income Subsidy, or the Part D Low Income Subsidy. The Social Security Administrator, SSA, and Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, CMS, work together to provide this benefit. And who qualifies for extra help? Some people get extra help automatically. These include people who are enrolled in both Medicaid and Medicare, often called dual, so people can get both. Those receiving SSI and those who qualify for Medicare Savings Program. These individuals do not need to apply for the program, though they may still wish to consult a benefit counselor to determine the best Part D plan to suit their situation. Anyone else who is not already enrolled in the benefits noted above must also apply for Social Security to receive extra help. The income and asset requirements for this benefit would be available through that. The amount of extra help a beneficiary receives depends on their income resources. Beneficiaries will receive either a full subsidy or partial subsidy. So most people who qualify extra help will pay no premiums, no deductibles. So there are different ways to apply for extra help. So if you know of a senior or adult living with a disability who may be eligible for extra help, you can direct them to me through that we can find out through the benefit enrollment and through the benefit enrollment check, or check through the state health insurance the SHIP program. SHIP are federally funded to provide free objective assistance to people with Medicare and their families. People with Medicare can also apply through the Social Security Administrative Office. And the next one I have, my next screen is on LIHEAP, which is Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program. This is another program that I can help assist those who are wanting assistance about if they go through the Benefit Enrollment Center through the Law Center. And LIHEAP is a federal program that helps low-income households pay for their heating and cooling. Their cooling energy costs, energy crisis, and weatherization services. The goal of LIHEAP is to ensure that household can maintain adequate and safe temperatures in their home, particularly during extreme weather conditions, by providing financial assistance with energy bills. Low-income seniors and adults with disabilities sometimes make dangerous choices when they cannot afford to properly heat their home. You know, it seems like maybe they're making a decision, well, do I pay to keep my house warm and cool, or do I, do I pay for food, or do I pay for to get my medication? And LIHEAP, like I said, is a federally funded program that provides grants to states and for qualified individuals with their home heating and cooling costs. In addition to assistance with energy bills, some funds are available to make improvements to home and their homes. I know there is here locally, I would refer people over to some organizations that do help in regards to helping, like maybe energize with their home by maybe replacing windows, or we helped a family here locally to get a stove, get a coal stove provided in their home. Weatherization enables low-income families to permanently reduce their energy bills by making their home more energy efficient. Assistance is available regardless whether a person owns or rents. So those are some of the, there's also energy assistance, and there's other forms of energy assistance through the National Council on Aging. And the eligibility requirements for LIHEAP is primarily available through households with low income. Eligibility is usually determined based on income and household size. The income limits vary depending on the state and are generally set as a percentage of the federal poverty level. Special considerations, priorities often given to households with young children, elderly individuals, and people with disabilities. Each state may have its own specific requirements. So, it's very important to check with your state or local LIHEAP office for eligibility requirements. I know through the Navajo Nation, we go through the Navajo Nation Division of Social Services, and you can go through them, or you can call me and we could find out how to get that application processed. And like I said before, types of assistance offered through LIHEAP. There's energy bill assistance. Direct payments are made to the utility companies on behalf of the household to help pay for their heating or cooling bills. And then there's the crisis assistance in cases of emergency, such as a utility shutoff or a furnace breakdown. LIHEAP may provide crisis assistance to help restore or prevent the loss of essential heating or cooling services. And like I said, weatherization assistance in addition to paying bills. LIHEAP may provide funding for weatherization services to make home, more energy efficient. So that's part of the other assistance that LIHEAP provides. So the next slide we already went through the extra help I think I already covered that through the what LIS stood for and Part D. And there's this next screen, the benefits of the LIS, like I mentioned before. It helps lower the cost of Medicare. Part D, premiums, it can help pay for premiums. LIS can produce or eliminate the monthly premium you pay for Medicare Part D. Could help pay for deductibles. It helps lower the amount you must pay before your drug plan begins to pay for your prescription drugs. Co-payment or co-insurance. LIS also reduces the out-of-pocket cost for your prescription medication, meaning you will pay less at the pharmacy. And coverage gap. If you enter the donut hole, the coverage gap in Part D, the LIS can produce the cost you paid during this phase. So some of the other coverage is Medicare in regards to Medicare Part A. When I was talking about Medicare, there's Medicare Part A, which covered hospital insurance. Medicare Part A is often called hospital or inpatient insurance because it pays for care in the hospital. Part A also pays some of the costs of stays in skilled nursing facilities or healthcare at home. And Part A can also cover hospice care for people who are terminally ill. Part A is funded by through the payroll tax that is deposited into a hospital insurance trust fund. And Part B pays for physician services, outpatient hospital care, and home health care that Part A does not pay for. It also pays for diagnostic laboratory tests, such as x-rays and blood work, medical equipment, such as wheelchairs, hospital beds, maybe for, like devices that support artificial body parts. It also covers Medicare Part B, also covers mental health care, ambulance services, and preventive services. So here at the Law Center, through the benefits checkup, when I talk to people, when I go out and do outreaches, I let them know that here at the Law Center about the BEC. I let them know that there are benefits out there that they may not be aware is available to them. So what I do is I get their name. I let them know that all the information I get is confidential. I don't share their information with anybody, and it's free. It's free through the National Council on Aging. We determine eligibility. Then I conduct the BEC screening, and it's open to anyone. It's open to those who are 50 and over, or if they're 21 and over with a disability. On the next slide, I wanted just to show you show a sample of a screening of Miss Shorthair. When I let her know that at the end, after I do the screening, there's a benefit enrollment screening report, and it'll have her name on top, and then it'll show the benefits that she may be eligible for. And this is part of the first portion of the report, how it looks like. And then it'll give benefit categories. Next slide, it shows the table of contents of what benefits that she may be eligible for. And in this portion, it shows that she may be for food nutrition. Normally when I screen somebody, I'll ask them, well, what do you need assistance with? Are you looking for food and nutrition? Are you looking for housing and utilities? Are you looking for health care? And the majority of the people I talk to, they say, well, I don't have insurance, or, I'm looking for assistance with my heating bill. So I'll click those categories on the BEC, and then for Miss Shorthair, this what came up. She's eligible for commodity. She's eligible for SNAP, Medicaid. She lives in New Mexico. If she lives in Arizona, it would show access. And it shows like for different categories for housing. Lifeline. Lifeline is a benefit that will help for them with telephone or internet services. There was a lady in Newcomb where she was raising her two grandchildren, and we were able to help her with Lifeline to get internet services. Um, so that's part of it, and then it shows that here that she's also eligible for Social Security income. So this is how just basically how the benefit enrollment report comes out to show. The next slide I wanted to show is a portion of the food, how the food and nutrition portion of her eligibility for commodity. It showed that she's eligible for New Mexico, here in New Mexico for commodity, and then it'll show, well, how can this program help her? So it'll list, if she's wanting assistance through commodity, it'll show how it can help her. And then the next portion, it'll show, well, how can I apply for this? She can go online to contact the person or the organization, or she can call me here and I'll help her. So the additional benefits for, before I go to the next one, the additional benefits for seniors and to go through the Benefit Enrollment Center, it does, in addition to Medicare, Medicaid, and food and other benefits that are available to low-income people with, there's other benefits that come up, like the SSI. That again, that's the federal program administered through the Social Security Administration Office, and I'm able to guide people on to where to go either through the internet, their website, or people can apply through the phone. But I always tell them if they do apply through the phone, the best bet is to try first thing in the morning because the phone lines are always so busy. There's also for veterans, if veterans are looking for benefits, it offers benefits to veterans and their dependents. There's other disaster assistance and adult daycare assistance and housing, like I said, through Lifeline, free cell phones, transportation. So the benefits checkup, the NCOA, it's a free online screening tool that can help elder adults screen for benefits. And I go out and do outreach. I go out to different senior centers. I go to chapter houses. We visit different events that are going on. But we go out to the community and we just talk to a lot of the people who are at the events, and just talking to them. We introduce ourselves in Navajo, and just to let them know, and they'll say, "Oh, you're my old sister," or "You're my grandma," just get that connection going. To let them know that we are, Dana, and we are out there wanting to help them. And we post out different flyers at different. I've been going out to laundromats, posting my BEC flyer to post offices, and if some stores will allow me, I will post some flyers at stores. And we've been partnering with different tribal entities, like Hopi. Been going out to Hopi. We've been wanting to go out to Dulce, and we've been attending different health fairs where I'm pretty sure I met most of you if you're online. But that's how we've been connecting, and through word of mouth, and newspapers. I've been printing my BEC ad in different newspapers like the Navajo Times, the here in Gallup Independent. So that's how we've been connecting to people. And of course, you know, there are challenges that we face. You know, there's a when I talk to people, a lot of our elderly people do not want to have anything to do with giving out their social security number. You know, a lot of the elderly on the reservation don't have phones, or they frown at the internet. Most of them, you know, they don't want to give out. They're uneasy about giving out information, especially, you know, when it comes to dealing with the government. And I try to let them know, you know, with the information that you give me, you know, it's confidential, and um, trying to make them at ease that, you know, this is something that may be able to help you in the long run. You know, maybe you won't use the benefits today, but in the long run, you know, you may find that you may need help with food, and you'll say, oh yeah, Valarie said that I may be eligible for commodity, that I may be eligible for SNAP, you know, and you can go back to the report and find out where you can always contact me here again, and I'll find out information where I was able to help you. And most of the people, you know, they're very comfortable in their work, you know, in their comfort zone. You know, they don't want to go outside that comfort zone. They know what they're getting. They know the amount of benefits they're getting, and and a lot of them don't want anything to interfere with that. And I hear that a lot, you know, if I get this, you know, it's going to compromise what I get monthly. And so they're comfortable with that. And so when I talk to them, I try to put them at ease, you know, in some benefits, yeah, it may kind of slightly maybe decrease what they're getting, but in the long run, it could help them with their medication. And a lot of them have lack of access to information, and there's also, you know, lack of transportation. And so when I go out to chapter houses, you know, I could sit there and I'll wait for people to come if there's no events going on, you know. But some of those are the challenges, you know, that we face, you know, and I'm sure a lot of other organizations also face the same challenges. So here's the next screen I'm sharing is the information for contact. If you want to contact me here, I'm here at the Farmington office. We're located here at 905 West Apache Street in Farmington. We work Monday through Thursday, 8 to 6 p.m. We also have an office in Flagstaff, where Austin and Floyd are at that office in Flagstaff. We have a toll-free number of 1-800-862-7271, you know, and we do have a website. And if people are those of you that are looking for assistance, and if you're not sure about whether or not it's something that we can help you with, you can fill out that form on the website. It's a little intake icon. You click on the intake and just fill out as much information as you can. Send it back, and one of our intake person or admin person will contact you and continue the intake. So that's the end of my presentation here, with the just going over the Benefit Enrollment Center and how that helps people out there. That's through here at Native American Disability Law Center. And again, if you wouldn't mind filling out the post survey that I believe is in the chat. And I don't know if there's any questions or so that's the end of my presentation here with Native American Disability Law Center, and again, it was about the benefit enrollment. And if you have any questions or anything, you can always reach me here at the office, here at 505-566-5880. And thank you for your time. And that's the end of our, I don't think there's any questions. So